fast forward to history, what exactly is the South proud about? I think they're proud of their white supremacy and their white supremacist mentality and entitlement. I think that's what they're proud about, and I think people up here who support that flag, whether they want to openly admit it or not, that's what they're rallying behind too. Because you know what the score is over here. You know how much racism there is in this area. You know how racial tensions are. You look at any comment section on Facebook about this stupid flag here in Michigan, with Michiganders commenting on it, and what is it? It's middle-aged, elderly white people saying, lead the flag up, it's about pride, it's about free speech. No, it's not. It's about racism, and it's about hate, and it's about intolerance, it's about white supremacy. That's what it's a symbol of. Take it down. Enough is enough. Take it down. It's over.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Because I side mostly on your side.
Well, you know what you could do with your devil's advocate, Mike?
Yes.
I'll listen politely. You explained.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm the more I'm seeing people post about the Confederate flag, and the more I see them posting other things that are going on. There's a lot of people who I really like, who I've been disappointed to see supporting it. I think there's some people out there, and I don't agree with them, but I think there's some people out there who, when they see it, they don't think of all those terrible things that you say is associated. By the way, I think you're right about it.
So what are they associating it with? The high teen pregnancy rate in the South?
I think what they're seeing is they're like, oh, well, the censorship, political correctness, which I don't think that's the symbol to rally behind. But that's kind of what I see some of the... And you know what, Kyle, maybe I'm just rationalizing it because I want to continue to think well of some of these people who are posting it. But that's what I think that a small portion of these people are quote unquote flying it via the avatar because they feel like it's a slippery slope to censorship, which I don't agree with.
Slippery slope.
I know. I hate the slippery slope. If you live on the slippery slope, you're going to fall through the ice because there's always another side of the slippery slope. But that's what I'm seeing with some folks.
Mike, it's a bottom line thing. It's literally a black and white thing for me. Mm-hmm. And when I realized, as a kid, you got to understand, my dad has been bringing me to NASCAR. And my dad, full disclosure, I mean, he's already sworn off this show to hell anyway, so let's go ahead and disclose it. My dad, I don't know how he feels about it today. I'm scared to ask him. But my dad has always been a supporter of the Confederate flag. Mm-hmm. I have no idea why. My family immigrated from Germany straight to Detroit.
Yeah.
There were no stops down in Kentucky, no stops down in Mississippi or Georgia or any of those other fucked places. Okay? This family came right here to Detroit. So I don't know what his pride is in the Confederate flag. It scares me that he supports the Confederate flag. But growing up and going to NASCAR races with my dad, I saw it everywhere. And the older I got, the first time that I was really spooked out about it wasn't until 2000. It's like 2006, 2007, which is pretty late. I know, and I admit that's embarrassing. But there was a guy with a bullhorn at the Michigan International Speedway campground with a bullhorn and a petition for who knows what. Not that he'd be able to read it anyways. There's a petition, and he was screaming, "The Confederacy will rise again!" and waving this flag, and people started...
Then I pulled up in my truck, started blasting.
You can suck my dick!
No, actually, it's the other one.
Oh.
For people that don't know, Kyle doesn't have headphones, so he's guessing on what I'm playing here.
Okay. Well,
I thought we could fake it.
I was trying. I was doing good up until then. Well, anyway... As I was saying, though, and of course people started rallying around and people started getting really fired up, and it stunned me because the Confederacy, well, who did the U.S. fight against back in the Civil War?
Why the hell would people from the former Union states want the Confederacy to rise again?
Why are you in one hand waving the American flag and the other waving the Confederate flag?
Right.
Those two don't mix historically. They never have and they never should, and in my opinion never will. And when I saw that, and then I put it together that most of these people at this campground are from the Midwest and from Canada, which is even more fucked up when you think about it. Why are these people supporting this? There has to be a reason that they're supporting this that is something other than what they usually trot out there, which is pride or freedom of speech.
Heritage.
Again, what heritage are you talking about?
Right.
What pride are you taking in? I just don't understand it. And I'll put it to you this way, okay? The Detroit Tigers, in Mike, I'm kind of riffing off of your metaphor earlier, but the Detroit Tigers lost 115 games or something like that in 2003, okay? The Detroit Tigers have had some good seasons since then. I don't go back and celebrate 2003.
Right.
I don't look on it fondly. I don't have a 2003 banner hanging in my room with the names of the players on that team. I don't have a day to celebrate Shane Halter like the South has a day to celebrate Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee. Why do they celebrate their heritage? The only reason why, and there's only one reason, it's because that's when they had the goal to stand up to the North to fight for the right to have white supremacy and slavery. That's why. And to celebrate that flag as Yankees in an underground railroad passage where we freed slaves is insulting, and it's terrifying to me. It's dumbfounding.
And Kyle, I am a true patriot, as in the sense that many times I like to celebrate American dominance, and waving the Confederate flag, that's supporting a loser there, son.
It is supporting a loser. They didn't get the job done. They could not close.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God.
Thank God. It's Turn the Radio Off on the Internet.
Turn the radio off. With Mike Parsons.
No drug dealers living next to me. Pretty good deal.
Kyle Bauer.
Yeah.
People hate my podcast.com.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh day. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Hey, Joey, I got some stuff you just gotta try. What is it? Pot. You know, marijuana. Oh, well, I don't know. What, chicken?
Joey's in a jam. What should he do? Cake.
Get a pizza.
Excellent. Get a pizza. Get real.
Got it.
You got it. Let's see if Joey's that smart.
I'm not chicken. You're a turkey.
He's right. Drug dealers are dorks. Don't even talk to them. Cowabunga!
They talk to a microphone because they're no good at talking to women.
You, me, bar, beers, buzzed, wings, shots, drunk, waitresses, hot, football, Cornell Hofstra, slaughter, then quick nap at my place and we hit the tin sound.
Turn the radio off.
So, Kyle, at what grade were you assigned to read To Kill a Mockingbird?
That was 8th.
Oh, okay. I guess the Warren Consolidated schools were a little more advanced than the Chippewa Valley schools, because I believe we read it in 9th grade.
And just for the record, I went to Warren Woods.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Warren Consolidated was cousin owned Warren Mott and all those.
So they were like Valley
schools.
to your Bayside.
Exactly.
I apologize.
Exactly. No, it's okay.
Profusely. Well, everybody knows the story of To Kill a Mockingbird. It follows the main character, a child named Scott. A scout. Scott. Well, Scout now identifies as Scott. Scout in the Deep South, Macomb, Alabama, where there is a black man, and I don't remember all the characters' names, so I apologize, but there was a black man on trial for raping a white woman, one of the Ewells, who were the real villains of the story. And Scout's father, Atticus Finch, a white lawyer in the Deep South, was charged with defending him. And Atticus Finch defended him as best he could. He sat outside his jail cell all night to keep him from being lynched by an angry mob. And he really became sort of the epitome of integrity, even though I thought he was a bit of a negligent parent. Because he made enemies with those Ewells, and yet and Bob Ewell, he claimed revenge, but he still let Scout and Jem gallivant all over the neighborhood at night and almost got her killed. But anyway, so Go Set a Watchman comes out tomorrow, and a lot of people who have pre-read the story are sad to find out that the book takes place a couple decades in the future. Scout comes from New York to visit her dad, Atticus Finch, and he is now a segregationalist. And it's bumming a lot of people out. And I'm just thinking to myself, as per our previous Confederate flag discussion, which I hope that's the last discussion we have on that topic, but, that's not what this country needs at this point. For our greatest literary hero of civil rights to become a bigot racist.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the ebb and flow. I mean, it's funny how the South and Harper Lee, of course, I think is. I mean, who am I to say? Especially since I haven't read the book yet. I honestly don't know if I'm going to. Especially because there have been kind of rumors floating around that this was something she never wanted released, and she's kind of fallen into poor mental health, and they took advantage of it and released it in the wake of that. Yeah,
that's what I've been hearing too, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards believing at this point.
Yeah, but it's at a pre-sale record.
Of course.
So
exactly what the executives of her estate wanted.
Yeah. So it's obviously going to be a wide, well-read, widespread book, but I think one of the things, and again, just spitballing here without having read the book, I think she's speaking to something that is race is so profound in the South. And I was recently reading a story in the Washington Post about a small county in Mississippi that was promised all these casinos.
Yeah.
And they got them, and they were promised all this prosperity, but that didn't come.
Okay.
And it's actually created a bigger poverty divide between the races. And the whole segregation was something that was so deep, so intertwined, and the South is so unwilling to separate from its racist past and to put its racist past where it belongs, that culturally it seeps almost like through osmosis from generation to generation, whether it's overtly taught or not. It's there in the subtext of everything in the South. You see segregation.
I think the best line I read in regards to Atticus Finch turning heel, so to speak, somebody, a weatherman actually, a friend of mine who lives in the South, posted, "To Kill a Mockingbird 2. Atticus Finch gets cable news and a social media account." I thought that was so perfect. Well, the thing with Go Set a Watchman, I always want to call it Go Tell It on a Mountain. Go Set a Watchman is that, number one, people aren't sure if it was a sequel or a prequel. It was written before To Kill a Mockingbird. And the original, and I'm not this well researched on the topic.
You're not a literati?
No, I just heard this in an interview on NPR.org, not .com, .org. They're a nonprofit. That originally, To Kill a Mockingbird, Jem was an adult, and the editor, which I think was probably one of the greatest calls in literary history, the editor said that the novel would have a much bigger impact if it was told through the eyes of a child. So they made Jem a kid. And, of course, the rest is history. So this, some people are saying this may have been a first draft of To Kill a Mockingbird. It might have been a prequel. It might have been a sequel. Go Set a Watchman actually may have taken place originally, the original intent was to have it take place before To Kill a Mockingbird. Then To Kill a Mockingbird was going to show Atticus's transformation from a segregationalist to a civil rights champion. And then others say it's reversed, and there's a missing second novel that branches them that shows the decline of Atticus. So there's a